It's a sad day when you lose Eddie Money. And right now, what we're doing is going into the vault and checking out our last interview with Eddie, which was just last year, where he talked about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I asked him about not being there. You'll find it interesting what he says. It says a lot about who he is. Also, he talks about appreciation for his career. He was a fan too. I asked him, was he ever starstruck? Good answer on that one. Talks about negative press and his old guitarist who was on those first 5 Eddie Money albums, Jimmy Lyon. This is part 2 of our last conversation with Eddie Money. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. Before we start, remember, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We need you, man. And also click the bell notification so you'll see all our interviews and all the music news that's coming up. Eddie Money and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He wasn't in it. I asked him about that, and he gave me a fantastic answer, which said an awful lot about who he was.
Well, I appreciate that, but then again, you look at people like REO Speedwagon and Styx and Survivor and, 38 Special, and all my friends. I mean, they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame either, but I am in the Long Island Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is great with Neil Diamond and Barbra Streisand and, I come from Long Island, and being that I'm from I'd love to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because, my kids would want me in, but I'd like to see my friends get in before I get in. People in Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon, and of course Survival was really good. There's a lot of great music out there, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they got to take care of a lot of people too. So who knows? If it happens, it happens. But to see somebody like Elvis Costello get in and me not get in, I don't know. I can't figure that out,
in the beginning of your career, was there a time where you really got starstruck? Were you the type of guy that would meet someone and go, I cannot believe I just met that person? Did that ever happen to you?
Yes, I did. I went on the road with the Rolling Stones, and I met Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. And the greatest part about it is, I got to tell you, they were just like regular guys. They took pictures with me. They were just nice people. Then I met Plant, and I met Page in Memphis. And they gave me backstage passes to the show.
What was that like, meeting those guys?
Oh, it was incredible. I met them at a place called Lansky's. This is where Elvis Presley used to get all his shirts made. It's a little shop that he made Elvis Presley shirts. And I ran into Plant, and I ran into Page there. And we talked for about 45 minutes, and they gave me tickets to the show. One thing about musicians, just like you, like people in radio, we all love music, and our whole life is music, and it shows. Anybody that's in love with music and does what you do or what I do, it's going to wear off on you. Music is a good thing. I think music is one of God's greatest gifts.
Jimmy Lyon was featured on the first 5 Eddie Money albums. He was an amazing guitarist. He was really heavily featured on the first 3 and made a huge difference on those albums. I asked him how that got started.
Jimmy Lyon slept on my couch for 3 years, and he wanted to give me an athlete's foot that I still can't get rid of, for Christ's sakes. But he was a great guitar player. We used to have people like Carlos Santana come down and listen to Jimmy play. And then Bryan Adams, when Jimmy got tired of playing with me, Bryan Adams turned around and got him a job playing with Tina Turner. He was a great guitar player, Jimmy, and I wish him nothing but success, but he just didn't want to do it anymore. Some people just don't want to tour for as long as I tour. You got to be pretty strong-willed, and to get out there as much as I do. I just finished doing 9 shows in a row. That's why I'm so hoarse right now, and I'm on my way as we speak. I'm on my way to the studio to finish up my record.
By the way, you don't seem like the type of guy that negativity in press would necessarily get to, but was there ever a time, because critics can be assholes, was there ever a time that negativity in the press got to you?
Well, yeah, my mother's got Jewish blood in her, and somebody made a mistake and said that I was anti-Jewish and said I was anti-Semitic, which is not true at all. I got nothing against Muslims. I got nothing against anybody. I'm an American, and I have nothing against Canadians.
Not knowing what was going to happen, of course, no one ever does, I asked him about appreciation and all the love that he gets from fans and having a long career.
Well, thank you so much, and that's one of the, I thank God every day because, my music was all about having a good time, and who doesn't think them are loved? Who doesn't want their baby to hold on to them? Who doesn't want 2 tickets to paradise? It's like, I think music should bring a lot of joy to people in the world, and I'm glad that I made a lot of people happy. Every time I open my mouth and I sing the hits, I thank the big guy upstairs for, give me the incentive to write them, and my voice is holding up. Having the kids work with me on stage is great, and life is good. I got no complaints.
This was part 2 of our 3-part conversation with the late, great Eddie Money. May he rest in peace. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, share our videos, and comment on them as well. What's coming up in our last part, we're going to ask him about the biggest misconceptions fans might have, or anyone might have, about Eddie Money, how he felt touring kept him young, working with the late, great Valerie Carter, how fans still wanted to party with him, and his record collection when he left home. What was he listening to back then? I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Street Music.